So you've done what you think you need to do in terms of moving forward in your career. You've cultivated your elegance. You have cultivated your intelligence. You've earned certain degrees and certificates, and you've participated in a number of webinars. You have taken those steps to do what is supposed to help you be successful, help you to move up in your career. But instead, you're feeling ignored. I want you to think about this for a moment. How many times has someone given you a compliment? They may say, "Oh, there she goes again. She has all of the answers." And it was the way that they said it. It really wasn't a compliment. It was one of those snarky remarks to say, who does she think she is? Why is it that she always has the answers? And instead of owning it, you changed your behavior. See, your problem isn't what they think of you. That's not your problem. Your issue is how you respond to it. If you're new here, I'm Laura. I am a C-suite executive, a personal brand coach, a mom, and a wife. On this channel, I create content on modern elegance, career mastery, and a little bit of style. So today, ladies, in this episode, we are talking about strategies that you can use that will propel you to that next step without you actually changing who you are. So these are steps that you're going to use so that you are no longer ignored, so that you show up differently. See, you can't control other people. You can't control what they think. You can't control what they say. But what you can control is how you react to it. So the first strategy you want to use is you want to develop this aura of expectation. And what that means is you want to have a certain expectation when it comes to you. You are going to expect to be treated with dignity and respect. You're going to expect to go to that next level. You're going to carry yourself with that kind of presence where you are expecting only good things. You're expecting only the best. And when you do that, you start to believe it. And when you start to believe it, you start to own it. And when you own it, that's how people will treat you. Remember, you teach people how to treat you. And if you have that aura of expectation, you are expecting them to treat you in a certain way. You are teaching them how to treat you. So you want to develop that aura of expectation. And when you develop this aura, you don't change it because someone makes a backhanded compliment. One of those compliments of, "Oh, she's always dressed in a certain way." You don't change that because they make that compliment or backhanded compliment. You remain who you are because you expect something different. And when you do that, people start to change the conversation about you and the conversation around you because they know that they cannot treat you in a certain manner. Now, when you do that, you are respecting yourself, but you're also treating others with respect as well. Next strategy you want to use is strategic polarization. And what that means is you're no longer trying to fit in with everyone. You're no longer trying to please everyone. Instead, you are separating yourself from those people that no longer add value to your career, to your life, to your relationships. You want to form these connections and these relationships and networks with people who are moving upward in their careers or who's moving in the direction that you're trying to take your life. Because here's the thing, when you are trying to please everyone, that doesn't help you. It makes you exhausted. You're no longer being authentically yourself. You're no longer focused on what you're trying to achieve. Instead, you're pulling yourself in all of these different directions that is making you exhausted and tired, and that's not serving you well. So you want to strategically separate yourself from those people who are not going where you're trying to go, who are not doing the things that you are trying to do. Next strategy is to control disruptions. See, here's the thing. People expect you to do certain things, but you want to actually control that. They may expect you to be soft-spoken because generally you are, but change it up every now and then. Instead of them expecting it and you doing it, you change it. But you only change when you want to, when you feel the need to, not when they expect you to, but when you want to. You want to own who you are. And owning who you are means that some days, if you're an introverted person, you're quiet. You're very quiet because that's just who you are naturally. But some days, for example, if you're in a meeting and there is a presentation going on, and not only do you have the answer, but you have the answer and you can give it to them in a way where you're giving the answer and you're giving the answer where you own it, where you don't waver if someone asks a question or if they say something like, "Are you sure?" Of course you're sure. You own it. And that is controlled disruption. Because this time, instead of when they say, "Are you sure?" I'm not so certain that's going to work. You own it by saying, "I know for a fact that it will work, and this is why." So you own the disruption. You take control of it. Step is quiet power. See, most of the time in rooms, when someone's talking the loudest or they're talking too much, those are not the people that actually have the power. The people that actually have the power are those individuals that aren't saying a whole lot. Because when they do speak, they are actually providing strategies to solving a problem. They are providing insight to a problem. They are generally those people who are visionaries and they're playing the long game. You also want to power pivot. Take the power from someone else. Now, think about when you were in grade school and there was a bully. And the bully is that person who would use words to hurt you. And it's the same way in organizations and even in relationships when you're dealing with people. Go back to that backhanded compliment. It's really designed to hurt you. So instead of allowing it to sting or to hurt, you take the power back. And the way that you do this is, let's say, for example, someone says, "She's always dressed that way," right? You know from that expression that that's not a compliment, at least not in the way that they say it. So how you take the power back from that, you say, "Oh, yes, it is. This is my signature style. Thank you." Now you've taken the power. So their words no longer hurt. And here they are feeling like, "Well, why did I say that?" So you want to pivot power. Take the power back. Own who you are. And when you're getting these compliments, or if someone tries to dismiss something that you say, you interject and you take the power back. Next is you want to have that royal mindset. And that is when you walk in the room, feel like royalty. Know that royalty runs in your veins. Don't change the way that you walk in. You walk in, you take up space, you own the room, you own who you are. Because again, ladies, you are treating people or you are teaching people how to treat you. And when you do this, they realize that they can only treat you in a certain way because that's the only way that you're going to allow it. The next strategy, ladies, is you want to be more than an icon. You don't want to just be iconic. Now, in today's society that we live in with social media, everyone wants to be iconic. You don't want to be an icon. You want to be a power player. See, an icon fades, but a power player is the person sitting at the table making the decisions. And you'd rather be making the decisions than making the coffee. So what you want to do is you want to be a power player. You want to be one of the people that are making the decisions. And how you become a power player is you own who you are. You own the fact that you are intelligent. You own the fact that you are elegant. You own whatever it is about you that people are trying to make you feel small for. You actually own it and use it to your advantage. You want to learn what the game is, the rules of the game, because it is a game in organization. You learn the rules of the game, but then you start to play the game. You don't let the game be played around you, or you don't fit into that stereotype or that box that you're supposed to be fitting into. And you can do this without becoming arrogant or without becoming aggressive. It means that you become more assertive. It means that you start to own who you are. You own your intelligence. You own your elegance. These are the things that truly will set you apart and help you move in your career. But again, it's not how they see you. The problem is not how they are reacting to you or the things that they're doing. It is how you're responding to it. And how you respond to it is to own who you are, be authentically who you are, and make them rise to your expectation as opposed to you dumbing yourself down to fit into that stereotype or to fit into those groups that are telling you that this is how you should be. So that is it, ladies. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If so, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. I'd love to know some of the strategies that you are using. And if you start to incorporate these strategies, I'd love to know what kind of results you're getting with them. Thank you again for watching. As always, I'll see you next time.